Today I am going to tell you about DC Comics issue 18 of the year 1987 featuring the secret origin of the Golden Age Green Lantern. But first, let me give you some background. Secret Origins began as a full series in March of 1973 featuring the Flash, Superman, and the Batman. Alan Scott and the Green Lanterns first appeared in All-American Comics issue 16. Alan Scott was a notable member of the All-Star Squadron, as well as the Justice Society of America, the first superhero team featured in a comic book. There was a Green Lantern movie in 2011, but the movie featured Hal Jordan, not Alan Scott. By the way, if you did not know, Golden Age essentially means the original. And now onto the comic book itself. The story begins in ancient China, where a green asteroid has just landed in the middle of a small town. The townspeople, both suspicious and superstitious, were afraid to approach it. However, an old lamp maker steps forward, convinced the occurrence is an omen from the sacred books. As he moves forward, the meteor begins to speak, saying, 3 times I shall flame green. First to bring death, second to bring life, third to bring power. The man, curious, took some of the cooling metal from the giant rock to make a lamp, a gesture that was considered blasphemous by the other people of his village. The villagers watched with anger as the old man fashioned the metal into a lamp, and, consumed with hate, they stormed into his dwelling, subduing him and trying to destroy the lamp. But the lamp glowed with a green light, and, fulfilling the first part of the prophecy, it brought death, as it promised, and killed them all, including the lamp maker. The lamp changes hands throughout the ages, bringing prosperity to the good and death to the evil, but it did not flame again. In the 1940s, 3 adventurers found the lamp while exploring in China, from where it found its way to America and Arkham Asylum for the criminally insane. From there, it is given to a crazy tinkerer incarcerated in the asylum. He, noticing the bright color of the metal, fashions it into a lamp typical to that time. As the tinkerer looked into the center of the lamp, it glowed once again with a green light and fulfilled the second part of the prophecy, the bringing of life, and cured the man of his mental illness. In other words, the lamp gave the man a new life outside of the asylum. A few years later, the lamp finds itself on a train next to Alan Scott. Alan is talking with a friend, discussing a crime lord and how his wrath may have been directed towards the very train he was on at the time. Suddenly, as the train crosses a recently built bridge, the bridge collapses and the train tumbles down towards the ground, hundreds of feet below. In his panic, Alan grabs the lamp as the train hits the ground. Alan wakes later to find hundreds of dead bodies on the ground, realizing he was the only one to survive the impact. Alan uses the light of the lantern to navigate his way out of the debris, as the lantern completes the third and final part of the prophecy, the giving of power. The lantern then instructs Scott to create a ring with some metal from the lantern itself. The ring would give extraordinary power to those with the willpower to carry it, but it must touch the lantern once every 24 hours to give that power. As Alan creates the ring, he decides to go after the man who collapsed the bridge and bring him to justice. Alan walks outside and finds that he can fly with the use of his will. He quickly soars through the air to the house of the perpetrator. He smashes the door open and takes out the guards inside with almost no problems. Alan finds that bullets and knives have no effect on him, but he is felled by a block of wood. Recovering quickly, he grabs the crime lord by the neck and whisks him to his home in the country, where the crime lord confesses to everything before dying of shock. That night, Alan Scott learned of the power of the Green Lantern, of its strengths and weaknesses, and he became the Green Lantern. Thank you for watching. Please share this video and subscribe to this channel for more comic book overviews.